Alright, first off, thank you guys for coming out here today. It's a good day for the revolution to start in Indiana.
Whoa!
My name is Anand Villar, and I'm a sophomore at Purdue University, and I will be campaigning for and voting for Bernie Sanders for our Democratic nominee and eventual President of the United States. As a 19-year-old, this is the first presidential campaign that I'll be a part of. As a contributing member of the future of America, I can say undoubtedly that Bernie Sanders is the president to bring us into that future of America. To see how Bernie Sanders can bring us into the future of America, we must first explore the past of Bernie Sanders. Now, I support Bernie Sanders because he has done what has been right all his life, no matter what anyone has said, no matter what was unpopular. He fought for the desegregation of University of Chicago housing, risking arrest as a student. He supported LGBT equality before it was popular among Americans. And he fought to stop trade deals that shipped all of our jobs to Mexico amongst the entire continent. And he led to stop the disastrous war effort in Iraq, warning us of exactly what we're seeing in that part of the world today with rampant terrorism, extremism, and civil war. He sought to ensure that the middle-class taxpayers would not have to bail out Wall Street because of their greediness and because they decided to do what they wanted to do without any regulation at all. I support Bernie Sanders because he's the only candidate that does not accept donations from super PACs, because he has no obligations to large corporations, because everything he does is for the people like you and I who donate small sums of money, on average $27. I support Bernie Sanders because he's the only candidate with a sensible and direly needed climate change policy that will ensure that we're and environmentally healthy while being the leaders of this movement to save our planet.
Yes.
Now, there's another reason why I support Bernie Sanders, and that's because he will enact legislation that will create 13 million new jobs to help rebuild America. Because we can rebuild other countries. We can rebuild our own country. About drinking water that has lead in it. We shouldn't have to worry about bridges crumbling, and we shouldn't have to worry about roads that we can't drive on. I also support Bernie Sanders because he knows that we can't possibly be the greatest country on earth if we don't take care of our own people, providing the essential right to health care for all people. Gender, religion, or income. I support Bernie Sanders for understanding that government-subsidized college education should be a right to all students, regardless of what their income is. I support Bernie Sanders because the top 1/10 of 1% own almost as much as the bottom 90% of income, and to quote the man himself, this is something profoundly wrong with our country. I support Bernie Sanders because he does not see us as black, white, brown, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, gay, straight, male or female, or any other group. He sees us all as equal human beings, and he always has seen us as equal human beings when he's fought for us for the past 40 to 50 years. A level playing field. I'm campaigning for and supporting Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont, and I ask you to join me in this movement because Senator Sanders is the candidate to take on the deadlocked establishment of Washington, D.C. and change the entire system to ensure that it is once again a government of the people,
for the people, by the people! Great job! Yeah! Great! That was wonderful. I'm sorry.
Does everybody here know how to find us on Facebook? Do we all know that? Everybody. Hands up who doesn't know where to go on Facebook. I'm going to help you in just a second. Anybody else? So, can Bernie do it alone?
No!
No. Does he need you?
Yes!
What else does he need? Does he need something else? What about locally? Well, donate, of course. That's going without saying. But we also need to get involved locally, right? So our elected officials on a local level are a huge importance. They impact our lives. Bernie is important, and he has said, I cannot do it alone. I need people that want to work for the issues that are important to you. So today, while we're all together, I wanted to invite all of the local leaders and people who are running for office to come out and speak to us. This isn't necessarily an endorsement, right? This is not an endorsement. This is not about them standing up and saying anything about Bernie. What I want you to do today is listen to them about what they have to offer so that we can help get involved and get educated locally, right? So the first person that stepped up and said they were going to come today is Vicki Weesty. She is going to let Vicki.
Yay!
Hi, everybody. I think I can do without the microphone. So, thanks for coming today. I'm running for the Indiana State House in District 26, and actually most of Purdue's campus sits in that district. So, if you're a student, you live on campus, and you're registered to vote here, make sure you vote. And my message to you today is very simple. I don't care who you, well, I do care. But vote, and regardless of who you vote for, make sure you participate. Because what's going on at the state level, what's going on in Indianapolis right now, is the result of Democrats not voting.
Yes!
We have a supermajority of Republicans in the legislature who are pulling shenanigans
Yes.
legislatively and doing things without going through the right process, without any chance for debate, without any chance for opposition, as if that's a bad thing, to register and shape the process. So what did they do this year? Did they pass a jobs bill? No. Did they do anything to fix public school funding?
No.
Did they pass an incredibly restrictive abortion bill?
Yes.
Did they pass a law that prevents cities from enacting environmentally protective laws?
Yes.
Okay, tell me, do you think they actually worked on the issues that are of interest to you?
No.
No, they didn't. They worked on really silly marginal things, and they worked on things where the effect was to narrow people's rights. And they didn't fix RFRA. They did not fix religious discrimination against people. Yes. So, honestly, that is why I'm running. That's why I decided to shake up my comfortable suburban middle-class life and my work life and run for state government. It's absolutely imperative if you are going to have a voice in the way this government functions. It starts at the local level, and it absolutely matters that you go all the way through your ballot and vote on all the down ballot races, down to the dog catcher.
Yes.
You know what I mean, right? So, vote. Tell your friends to vote. The voter registration deadline is April the 3rd, 4th. And then early voting starts the next day. I have business cards with all my campaign social media addresses on them. Please, I'll be circling around here after the rally, so please come up and meet me and let me know what you care about. Okay, thank you for coming. Thanks for letting me speak. Bye.
All right. Now, who knows Sheila Clinker? Everybody.
Here comes Sheila.
She's super involved in the community. She's a lover. She's here to speak to us today. A bit about why she got involved in politics. So, welcome, Sheila.
Everybody.
Hi, Sheila.
Thank you so much. Jennifer Wilkie was very nice, though. And you need to know that the last time Hillary and Barack both ran, Barack Obama came to Purdue and spoke with Evan Bayh here on campus.
Yeah.
And you knew that, and we were thrilled to have him. Originally, I was with Hillary because, as many of you know, she came, spent a lot of time in Indiana. So we are just delighted that we have two wonderful candidates, and I'm very impressed that young people like a gentleman that's a little older. candidates are doing. It really is. And when you know what they're facing on the other side, it's just unbelievable, folks. So, Jennifer, thank you for getting all these people out, work hard on behalf of the Democratic Party. And I do want to tell you all, and I think you'll be interested in this, John Craig, our candidate for governor, will win this time. As many of you know, he was Speaker of the House 6 years. He was president of Vincent University when they were having a few problems in the interim finding a president. And even Rex Burley, the former Republican chairman of Indiana, loves him. So that tells you what a wonderful guy he is. And he's coming here April 2nd. If you'll remember that, he's coming April 2nd, and he will be at the Outpost on 231. It is a fundraiser, but we're keeping it pretty low, $25 if you can afford that. But probably they take a little less if you want to come. The bottom line is that John will be announcing sort of the background of his candidacy. I'm sure he will not pledge either candidate because we just can't do that as a gubernatorial candidate, just like Vicki and I have to be very careful about that too, because we do appreciate the fact that so many of you live in our district. Vicki and I share a district. I do come over to the west side. I have the fraternities on 231. I do have Robinson Street, Old Chauncey neighborhood. Harry Tarr is in my district. Harry and Dina, and several others. David Sanders, who's a professor here that ran for office, is in my district. I do not have West Lafayette High School. I have all the area on this side. So I do have part of the west side. I wish I had Purdue University. But, you know, when they drew all those districts, folks, they've changed me 3 times. Okay? I had South Lafayette because I taught at Miami School 25 years, 10 years at Tecumseh Middle School. Did I have any of you as students? All right. And I did work for the College of Education for 15 years in reading recovery in the College of Education. So I love Purdue. My 3 kids graduated from here and love Purdue. We're very active in PMO, the musical organizations, as well as other groups, president of sororities and so on. But the bottom line is they are still good Democrats.
Yeah.
And I want you to know my son is on the city council, Kevin Clinker. So one person out of the 3 was interested in politics and has gone door to door with me, as many of you will do. And thank you so much for being here today. This is so important. We have a great group here that I know will work very hard, and I just appreciate while you're going door to door that you support me too. Thank you so much. I know many of you personally, and you've been very supportive. You put my signs in your yard, which I really appreciate, and I don't mind my sign being next to Bernie Sanders. So thank you all for coming today. I started because I cared about kids with disabilities. It took me 8 years to pass the Guardian ad litem CASA, court-appointed special advocates. So when you serve at the State House of Politics, you have to be patient. But you got it. Social worker certification and licensure. We worked on a lot of issues that Purdue people, marriage and family therapy, and I actually vetoed that bill, and then his attorney general told him he was crazy to do it, so he overrode his veto. So many of these issues that you made, and I will tell you, 1337, that abortion bill as it went over did not say what it says today, and I think that's why the governor hesitated a long time to sign it. It's very restrictive, and we had many Republican women as well as Democrat get up and speak against that bill, and even Randy Truitt, whose family is very right to life, voted no. So you know how restrictive that bill was when several Republican women as well as men voted no on that bill. And so you need to know that for that reason and many others, and I think that will go to the Supreme Court, actually. That will be appealed. So I just want to let you know that we appreciate you very much. We do have one positive that we did pass, and that was the Hoosier Tuition Scholarship. $7,500 a year to encourage people to go into the teaching profession. Is anybody going to be a teacher here? Yes. One. Anybody else? Two. Three. Four. All right. We're not bidding, but I do want you to know that that was one of the positives. And Brian Bosma that wanted that, as a daughter Allison, maybe some of you knew her, she graduated from Purdue and worked at McCord's Candy Shop across from Democratic headquarters. So I go over and say, Allison, don't you sneak up on us. We're buying our Cokes from you. But he knew how the shortage was occurring because of testing, getting rid of I-STEP, all that. So Brian did suggest $7,500 a year scholarship for 4 years for anyone that wanted to go into the teaching profession. So I do want you to know that that will help you if you're willing to go into education. That's one of the positives, and we didn't have a lot, as Vicki said, but we did have a scholarship that the speaker, being a Purdue mechanical engineer, did say was very important to him, and I want you all to know that we're backing that, and we will continue to make sure that that's funded and funded properly, along with roads, bridges, and higher education as well as K through 12. And we are getting rid of I-STEP, and it's going to while we're at it, we got to get rid of I-READ at 3rd grade. How does it compete? Right? Just testing these kids like we're doing is just sacrilegious almost. Yeah. I do Read to Succeed, which is a volunteer program at Miller School, and many of you are very familiar with that, and maybe do that too. And the kids come in 3rd grade crying. They're so afraid that something will happen to the computer, get it break down. It's just really a scary thing, and I don't want kids to have to go through that. They don't need to go through that. Our scores are going up in Indiana without all that pressure. And I just want to thank you all. I have to tell you, Felice Bray, right here, that worked on the Council of Aging for years, went to the same school Bernie Sanders went to. In Brooklyn, James Madison High School. Isn't that exciting? She said she graduated a little bit before me. That's fine. We're happy to know somebody that went to the same school that Bernie Sanders, and that was high school. So we're happy that we have so many people here, and can you believe we've got an IU Jacob School of Music person here. Look at that. That shows you we're diverse, right? We accept all kinds of people in our realm of politics, and that's why I'm so proud to be a Democrat. Thank you so much.
Today, who's here to help get Bernie Sanders elected president?